Boom.
Welcoming back to the Sexy Aging podcast. I have a repeat guest. I don't often have repeat guests. They actually have to be pretty freaking special. Well, this lady is special. She's one of my absolute BFFs in a circle. Probably knows more about me than a lot of people do. So this is the part where I cut the podcast. No, I welcome back Kylie Gates. She's the creative director for Les Mills International, but she was also episode 4 and one of the highest download episodes that I've ever had on the Sexy Aging podcast. Because Kylie has a lot of fans, put it that way. And not just that, but Kylie has the most amazing insights into the mind, into motivation, into the soul. I'll even, go as far as that, because we have incredible conversations. And so I'm inviting the audience to come on in and listen to a conversation between Kylie and I. Very honored. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you back. It's like I saw you like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But then when you reminded me it was 3 years ago we did the last one, it's like I was thinking about it just before, like 3 years.
3 years.
It just reinforces that you've just got to be intentional in your life, because time goes so quick. Time just goes so fast.
Kylie, I looked back at the exact date. It was the 8th of March, 3 years ago. So
wow.
Yeah, we're like literally 3 years. And I think we want to talk about that because even for both of us, 3 years, you mentioned it's intentional, and for both of us, it's been very intentional.
Very.
So I want to hear about what's been happening for you and, since 2021, really.
Yeah, 21. Okay. So I think we've still been 21, 22 was still like really weird with the lockdowns and everything. Yeah. But it gave me some space to do more qualifications and I studied with the Integrated Wellness Academy. Got my certification and then got my master's, and I really explored this group coaching, which I really love for many reasons. One, I think the number one reason is we all have experience, we all have backgrounds, we all have wisdom, and it's tapping into that inner wisdom that we all have, and just having these conversations with, it is mostly women. I don't purposely don't have men. I do have some men in my courses, but it does attract women, and it's just such a foundational course. It's a ready-made course, which I deliver and facilitate because I am trained, and then I give a lot more resources and tools that are not in the book as well, right? So we work off a book and work through an 8-week course. So that's been transformational for me. Like that's just been my little joy project for the last 3 years. It's enhanced every single part of my life without a doubt. So you can't coach without learning yourself, right? So it's just a win-win. It's so incredible. I learned so much off everyone else as well. Obviously they're waiting for my wisdom, but I'm also waiting for theirs. And then, obviously I have the coaching skills and I know the process of coaching, so I can then help them. So it's empowering them because it's through great listening and asking the right questions at the right time, the powerful questions at the right time, for people to unlock their potential to go, oh yeah, I hadn't thought about it from that perspective, or, oh, I know this, So often it's just giving people space because we actually do know.
Yeah.
when we get quiet and we listen and we get into our intuition, and all these tools that we can use. I mean, they obviously the number one thing is that we need to be able to flex the muscle. That's always what I say to clients. It's like, there's no magic pill, right? There's no magic pill, to transformation. It actually happens from all the little things that you do, and all the little things add up, and they all impact your life and just create the best life possible for you. And I think that's the important thing, is for you, because there's no perfect life for anybody. That, like, I know what my perfect world is and how that sort of exists and how I navigate through that. But your life is different. Everyone's life is different, and you actually do know. So often we go to these, courses and coaching things and think, I'm almost going to be told what to do. Well, no, because that's not empowering, right? It's empowering when we work through things, and the coach is asking those powerful questions which make you reflect and go, okay, yeah, that's something I want to dig into, or I want to unpack that. So I think that's been really transformational for me. I've had the most wonderful last couple of years just delivering it and getting to meet so many incredible people, like just incredible people out there. And it only enhances my belief that women, not just women, but people are incredibly, resourceful and creative, so it just, when someone says, I mean, I know that we all go through things in our life and traumas, and, I've been through a few myself. But when you can, get on the other side of it and have that transformation, it's life-changing.
Yeah.
It's life-changing. Absolutely. So I've been doing a lot of that, and I've actually got to a point where I realized that it's really important for all my clients to go through that course, because it obviously looks from a holistic lens, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, but also all the major areas of your life, your purpose, your career, your relationships, just all the aspects. So not just honing in on one, because it's all interconnected. And often we as humans will avoid pain, right? That's what we do. Yep.
Go to pleasure, run away from pain.
Yep. So we will only go to the questions that feel good. And we avoid the other ones. Whereas when you're working through a book and, I mean, you can avoid the questions, but eventually you do come back. I've had many clients get to the end of the 8 weeks and say, I need to go back and do some of those questions and answer them honestly, because if I want that transformation, I have to be, we have to be honest with ourselves. And I think that's the most important thing. And then we create the life that we want, because we are co-creating our lives. Life is not happening to you. It's, you've got an input in that. So yeah, I just believe in this work so much. So I always encourage my clients to go through that, even if they do it just one-on-one with me. We work through the book. And then after that, if they want to continue doing coaching, I get a lot of people that want to continue on just working through, or just to have a coach to be, accountable. Yeah, I love it. I love being able to just, help people to reach their full potential. That's what it is for me, because I'm doing it every day. And so it's like, yeah, I want to help people to realize that they can do this. It's not like you're lucky or you're the chosen one. No, everyone has access to this.
Yeah.
Everyone has access to it. So yeah, so that's kind of what I've been doing. Obviously I have my other job, big job at Les Mills, which I absolutely love. But this goes really well because we're also spending a lot of resources and time and energy into wellness. And I've also done some videos and things for Les Mills as well. So and my boss she just, loves that I'm doing this work, because she knows that I bring it back, and, it's right through my whole life. So it's really, really cool. Yeah.
It's so awesome watching you speak, because I see you light up, like I'm used to having these conversations with you, but now I feel like I'm sitting back a little bit and, interviewing you.
Yes.
And just watching you light up the screen talking about this. And so just to backtrack a little bit, so Kylie is what I would call a transformation coach. And I'm not sure what those words mean. So what does it mean simply, that if someone was to engage in coaching with you, like what are like the 3 top things that they'll get out of this?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm throwing you in the deep end, because
no, it's good because the clients ask me that. So, what am I going to get from this? And there's obviously, it's like the main thing is we're looking at removing the blocks, because we have our root system, and it's being intentional, planting your root system to wellness. But I guess if I could sum it up, I think I would say, and I do say to my clients, it's actually like coming home to yourself. It's about, because a lot of the things that we go through, we know, but through society and the culture and the way that we live, we're in a doing society. It's always about reproducing, doing. What about just being, and just being? So I think that's, the really big thing. And I think there's no kind of mold, like, because it's not a copy and paste, everyone's journey is different. And I think that's the other second big thing is transformation. There's never any end. you just keep peeling back. I call
Yeah.
it, you take a jacket off, and then you take another jacket, and then you realize, oh, there's a few more jackets to come off, you know. Or some people call it peeling the onion. For me, I'm not yet into onions, so I don't. I say jackets. I'm removing the jacket, and then you know when you put the jacket on, it's a little bit tight because you know you're feeling a bit not in alignment with yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, there's a couple of things that's coming back to yourself, which gives you that beautiful alignment, you know, with your true self. Because why would you want to live a life that's not aligned with your highest purpose?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, I don't do coaching with you, Kylie, but you and I have lots of really good conversations where I think we realize that it is about trusting your inner voice, you know,
Yeah,
and the
100%.
uncomfortable movement that happens well before you actually hear the voice so strongly. It's like, okay, can't ignore this. This is actually, I am going to be moving in this direction. I feel like I speak for a lot of women at a certain stage of life, and I feel like it coincides with hormonal change. And of course,
Yeah,
this podcast is known for that. So
yeah,
I personally felt that as things started to shift in me physically, mentally, emotionally,
mm,
I had this calling, like this kind of, I don't know, it was so weird. It's like, I don't know that I can continue to sustain my life the way it is. How am I going to move into this
mm,
next phase of life? And what does that even look like? And what tools do I need to address this chaos that I'm in? So that's a lot of questions, right? And I feel like a lot of midlife women have the
mm.
same challenges. So are you seeing this from clients? I don't want you to disclose anything about any clients, but is there a common
Yeah,
theme for you? You say that you do coach a lot of women. Would that be similar?
yeah. And I do get a lot of sort of midlife, you know, women coming because of transitions. I mean, often we look at coaching because we're sort of, you know, stuck. We're in
Yeah.
that tight jacket feeling like, what am I doing? Where am I going? What's my next thing? It's always in those transitional periods. And, you know, as much as I like to say, you know, sit in the transition, because I call it the murky waters, in the unknown, right?
Mm,
Because the unknown is where we can you know, rebuild ourselves, you know. We can like start to really plant those seeds. I think the common theme that I'm really seeing is, you know, for a lot of women, middle-aged, they are people pleasers, number one, and they don't look after themselves.
yeah.
So self-care, that would be the common, you know, and it shows up in different ways. Obviously looks and feels different for everyone because everyone needs different self-care, but it's really about the self-care stuff. And that's, you know, I mean, my belief is that if we don't have a really rich relationship with ourselves, you know, whatever that looks like, good and bad, you know, and we've always got things that we want to, you know, work on in ourselves to be the best version of ourselves. But if we don't have that really deep connection with ourselves, how can we then actually love other people? How can we
Mm,
be in deep relationships, you know? So it's, you know, doing this work has really, I've always, you know, I guess through the creative side of work that I've done, I've always had to have that strong belief in myself, and I've always had that. But this is kind of another level. This is like, yeah, really taking care of myself and nourishing and nurturing and planting and watering, right?
mm,
So whatever roots I'm laying and whatever direction I want to go, I keep, you know, it's like, how would you speak to your best friend? You know, speaking to your, you know, as you do your best friend very nicely, taking care of them, doing all the things that help them and support them. We've got to do it for ourselves, you
yeah.
know. So that's really the big one that I see, and how that shows up is quite different for everyone, but that's really a common theme. I think the other one is around purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you kind of come up against this stage of life. And for a lot of women, there's changes in the home, there's changes
Yeah,
at work, you
yeah,
know, and then there is the, I don't know if I want to do this job anymore. You know,
yeah.
there's that part as
What am
well.
I doing?
What, and is this going to keep me happy for the rest? Is
Mm,
this all it is?
mm.
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the purpose one is a big one. And, you know, because again, with society, you know, the way that we approach purpose is done from a holistic place. And, you know, even goal setting, it's like, yeah, you can have your goals, and we all know, you know, the SMART goals, but trying not to become attached to the outcome of the goal is the challenge, right? Because we're so goal orientated, you know, as a culture and as a society. So it's being able to, you know, have those goals, but I call it loosening the grip, you know, losing that attachment. I mean, as Buddha says, the source of misery is through attachment, you know, and there's levels of attachment. So yeah, I think purpose is a big one, but and often, you know, people associate purpose with career straight away, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Everyone's purpose, life purpose, can be different, and you know, it doesn't have to be a big fancy title or all these things. You know, everyone's got a different purpose, so that's really important. That comes up a lot because it, you know, yes, I think in that middle age, it's like, where am I going? What am I doing? What do I do now? You know, my kids have gone, things like that, or maybe I've, you know, moved, you know, partners or whatever. All those transitional periods are quite, you know, they're, it's the unknown. It's the, you know, and for a lot of us, we like to have that certainty, you know, be in the comfort zone, be in the safe zone, you know, rather than the unknown. And that takes a bit of courage, well, a lot of courage actually, to dive into that and sort of go, yeah, I'm open to see what comes up, you know, without wanting to know exactly how it's going to play out.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the fun bit, but
Yeah.
it takes a while to get there because, you know, it's trusting yourself and knowing that, you know, you're going to be okay. I had a conversation with a client recently, and it was like, you know, yeah, being able to back yourself. I think that's the really big thing. Back yourself, trust yourself, and know, okay, if that road over there that I'm sort of traveling, if that doesn't work out, I'm still going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because I know who I am. I know what I stand for in this world. So I think, you know, the purpose one is a really big one, along with the self-care. It all sort of, because often the changes are happening around the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And I think this brings us to a really good juncture because, you know, we've backed each other and supported one another through years of friendship and had multiple conversations around this kind of thing, not as structured, obviously. For us, it's a friendship. So it's like, how you going, and, you know, where's your challenges and what's working and what's not working. And we can have that really, you know, honest, you know, level of conversation. And we've always said that we want to do this retreat together, right? We've always had this idea that between the two of us, we have different skill sets from the same foundation, really wanting to help other women find their purpose, know what they want out of life, understand their bodies, take care of themselves. Like, we've both wanted to do that for a long time, and now we're finally doing it.
Yes, finally.
Yeah, so we're going to Bali, and I just want to dangle the carrot a little bit to anyone who's listening that's been sitting on the fence, like, oh my God, I definitely want to be in Bali with Tracy and Kylie. Kylie, what are you bringing to Bali to help women that sign up for our retreat?
I think probably the first thing is just this like incredible freedom to be able to just be in a space with women, and you know, I'm just so excited to meet other people, hear their stories. Obviously we're going to, you know, do some workshops and do yoga and fitness and all that stuff, but it's just, I love the unknown. I love the kind of, okay, who's coming? What are they bringing? For me, it's about that freedom just to explore and have that curiosity. That's the number one thing I'm bringing, but obviously I'll be well versed in what I'm going to talk about for sure, because that's what we do. We've been facilitators for a long, long time. And, you know, it's about how people learn and making sure that, you know, the women that come get the most out of this retreat. And I think the other part to that is just to be able to let people, you know, because it's freedom, it's about, well, you know, let you be who you are, and there's no kind of forcing anything. I've done a few retreats where it's sort of felt a little bit like, you know, you must do this, and I, you know, I just don't want it to be like that, because I know everyone's journey is different. So it's always about encouraging people, saying, give it a try, try it out. You know, even with classes, you know, some people like certain yoga classes, but it's like, well, give this a try. You know, you might like it. So I think that's really one of when obviously my wellness things that I'll be bringing, and classes. But I think, that freedom to be who you are, enjoy the space, and actually, have that sense of inquiry, because I think when you come with a mindset like that, you're just open mind, open heart, and so much transformation can happen.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah, especially in a beautiful spiritual location like Ubud. Like
Absolutely.
A lot of people that, I mean, if you've seen the movie Eat, Pray, Love, that's literally what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
You've got space, you've got time, you come off your mobile phones. Like, it is such an incredible transformation. So there's so many pieces that make it so transformational. As you say, the location, the food that we're going to be eating, nourishing our bodies, doing some beautiful exercise, just looking after ourselves, and being with like-minded people. It doesn't get better than that for me. It's like, I mean, we've been in the probably 60 years together in the fitness industry, something like that. So it's a long time, and we believe it. So I think that's, we live it, we breathe it, we believe in it so much. And I think we're just inviting people to come.
Yeah.
We've got a few spots left.
We've got a few spots left. I'm looking forward to sharing, all the hormonal health stuff.
Oh yeah, so important.
I think it's important, and I think it's also to remind women that we are so different. Everyone's journey is different, and yet they don't need to beat themselves up. To soften in the moment, to be kind to themselves, to learn, to grow, to absorb all the knowledge, to ask questions. That's what we're there for, and that's like you. I'm excited about meeting people, but I'm excited about being able to provide information and content that I wish that I had when I was going through troubling, challenging moments, and just having people feel like, oh, okay, so it's perfectly
I'm not
normal.
alone.
I'm not alone. It's perfectly normal. And oh, thank God.
Totally.
And now I feel amazing. I feel like a goddess because I'm with, all these other goddesses from around the world. So yay.
I think, that's, and it's just got, our work goes hand in hand. Because mine's all about wellness, self-care, and and you're educating everyone on the hormones and sort of what happens. And some people will be sort of in that space, some people will be coming up to that space, some people might be past it. But it doesn't matter. It's still all knowledge, and it's just spending time with yourself and really, checking in, I call it, with yourself, And I think for a lot of us, it's, we don't always get the privilege to have the time with ourselves, and there's going to be lots of free time as well. Because we made sure about that with the schedule, didn't we?
Absolutely. I think if someone is going to commit to take care of themselves, we talked about self-care. Getting on the plane and coming to Bali is a self-care moment. And so we don't want to take up all your time if you're coming to such an incredible location. So in the afternoons, we've got soul time, and soul time consists of either reflecting on the content that you've heard in the morning, or resting, taking a nap, going to the pool, or coming on an activity. So I think that freedom within the retreat versus, 9-10 hours of content, no, that's not going to happen. So it's important that you really do, embrace everything that Bali brings as a location. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bali is, as you say, it is a spiritual place, and everyone's got their own connection with Bali. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone say they haven't liked Bali, especially Ubud, where we're going to go. So amazing.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember, because you and I have done quite a few trips together, but we actually did have, I think it was a 2-night stay in Ubud.
Yes,
we stayed
I do remember.
At the Hanging Gardens or something.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. Like, so beautiful. Our room, I think we could do sprints.
Yeah.
It was that big.
It was really plush. I just remember we had that gondola, and and it was just really, I just felt like a princess. I just thought, oh my God, this is how other people live. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. So cool.
So that'll be is that and have we done another trip? Did we do a bike ride? Was that the same trip?
Yes, we did.
Okay, yeah,
That was on the same trip. But you
yeah.
also had your 40th in Bali as well.
Oh, yeah. So I've been to Bali a few times, and that's why I feel that it is quite life-changing, especially if you've never
Mm.
been,
Mm.
you know, and for those that have been, you know that it's just a place where you can find solitude and find yourself and all
Yeah.
of that.
I think
Yeah,
you summed it up with the movie Eat, Pray, Love. You know, it's exactly that. And it's about finding, you know, coming home to yourself. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, we would love to have you there.
Yeah, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. If you've been listening to this conversation between Kylie and I, and you're very keen to hear more
Yeah.
in person, then we need you to get your ass to Bali. So I'll put the link in the show notes, and all the details are there, the registration. You can reach out to the people that are organising it if you've got any questions, or you can reach out to us, just DM us. But thank you, Kylie, for another great conversation. I can see the incredible growth in the last 3 years. I almost feel a bit embarrassed telling you that, because you know how much you've grown, but I think it's really cool to have this relationship with you and then hear you speak about this life-changing role that you have,
Yeah.
your side hustle, but it's like, you know, something that lights your fire. It's so cool.
Yeah, it absolutely does light my fire, and I'm just grateful that I can do it and help people, and you know, take it into my life. I think it's not like this is the coaching thing that I do. It's all integrated, and I just feel grateful for being able to, you know, be in this space and help people. Yeah, move forward. It's all about coaching. Is all about moving forward. So yeah, I think it's nice to have someone, you know, that has known me for a long time and to see the growth. And I don't think you ever get sick of people saying, wow, you've really shifted, you know. And
Mm.
that's, you know, I guess, yeah, my boss has said the same thing. And she knows me really well, like you. And it's nice to have that, because, you know, that's one of the things that always my clients will say, oh, my husband noticed the change in me, or, you know, and it's always the people that are close to you will see that. And I think, you know, you become a role model for other people. You become an inspiration. You become that ripple effect, because people can feel it. It's an energy. It's what you're vibrating, right?
Yeah.
So the vibration as well, you know. So I think it all also links together, and people are like, I want some of that. I
Yeah.
want some of that stuff.
Yeah. Come and get
Yeah.
it, Bali.
Come and get it, people. Bali. Yeah. We like to have a good time. We don't worry about that.
Yeah, we'll save that part. You have to show up to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my friend.
Lovely chatting.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. See you in Bali.